My first client paid me $2,000, which completely launched my business. Here are 3 simple steps that will get you your first high-ticket client. For someone to give you $1,000 or $2,000 in my case, you need to be able to solve a really painful problem for them. And it can't be a problem you think people have or you want to solve but people don't actually care about. You need to do your research, find out the most painful problems for people in your niche, and then create an offer that solves these problems. On top of that, you need to be able to present your offer in a clear and compelling manner. Who do you help and what do you help them with? Put your offer in this framework. I help niche get highly desirable end result. For instance, I help new online coaches make $10,000 a month, or I help brides lose 30 pounds in 30 days. Business owners want to learn how to make more money, and brides might be trying to lose some weight before their wedding so they can fit into their beautiful dress. Both of these offers have been proven, so make sure you do your research and present an amazing offer to your potential clients. To do research, see if other successful people have the same or similar offer. If they do and they're having success with it, that means there's a demand. This is why competition is actually a good thing, because it validates the demand for what you're selling. You can see what's working for them and build your program taking inspiration from it. You don't copy it exactly, you should put your own knowledge into it, but it shows that there is product market fit and that there is an audience for your offer. The bottom line is that you need to have something that solves painful problems so people feel like they are getting more value back in exchange for the money that they're giving you. A good way to check if you have a good offer is to just find a friend or a family member and just ask them if they would give you $1,000 for your help. If you wanted to help people make money online, you could just go up to them and say, "Hey, if I were to help you make $100 a month in 30 days, would you give me $1,000? Now, in this case, they'll probably say no because that offer isn't super enticing. But because they said no, you're now aware that there's a problem with your offer and it needs improvement. You could go back to them and say, "If I helped you make $10,000 a month in 30 days, would you give me $1,000? That's a much better offer, so there's a really good chance that they would say yes. And now you know you have a really solid offer that people actually want. Honestly, you could probably charge a lot more than $1,000 for an offer like this, but the point is, it's a really good offer and people would feel crazy if they said no. And by the way, I made an entire course to help you get your next high-ticket client, and I'm giving it away for free. It goes through everything about creating an offer and more, so if you want it, just click the link in the description below. Now, the second thing you need to get your first high-ticket client is a way for them to find you. If people don't know you exist, nobody can buy your thing that helps them solve their problem. So if you want to let people know about your offer, there's 2 ways you can do it. The first way is to help people you know for free. I like to call these beta clients. When you're just starting out, you can message friends, family, or acquaintances and let them know about your program and offer to help them for free. Helping people for free does a few things. It lets you get practice coaching and lets you see if your program actually works. If there are problems in your program, you can fix them. That way, when you actually get paying clients, you can get them results and get a really good testimonial from them, which helps you grow your business. And if you do a really good job with your beta client, they might even know other people who would be interested in your program. Referrals are the absolute best way to get more clients because they're free and it doesn't cost you any time, other than to do a really good job with your clients. My first high-ticket client actually came through a referral from my beta client, so I know from experience how powerful this method is, and I highly recommend it. However, the only drawback is that it's hard to scale, especially in the beginning. You don't want to only help people for free and then depend on them for referrals because that would require a lot of time without making you much money. The second way to let people know about your offer is to make content. This can be video content through platforms like YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok, or it can be text-based content through LinkedIn or Twitter/X. You can also decide if you want to make organic content where you just post it to your page, or if you want to run paid ads. Now, content is definitely better in the long term for scaling your business and bringing in a consistent flow of new clients. With content, you can reach many people with a single video or post. The better your content, the more your audience will grow and the more reach you will have. Content is by far the best way to deliver a lot of free value to people, which is important because it's what gets them to know, like, and trust you. Trust is super important if somebody's going to buy high ticket from you. So the more valuable your content is, the more trust you will build and the more sales you will get. If you're starting out, just pick one social media platform and pick either organic or paid ads. That way you don't overwhelm yourself and you can get good at one thing before adding in another. Personally, I think YouTube organic is an amazing place to start if you don't already have a large audience somewhere else. It can take a little while to get good at, but once you do, you can run your entire business off of one YouTube video a week. It's so powerful. Now that you know what type of content to make, create a content schedule and stick with it. You could be posting once a day, 3 times a week, or once a week. Whatever works for you, just make sure you're consistent. Obviously, the more you post, the better chance you have of your content taking off, but you don't want to sacrifice quality for quantity. It's better to post one really good piece of content once a week rather than post 5 half-baked ideas that don't really provide any value 5 times a week. Be thoughtful about what you're saying, what value you're providing, and I promise you that you will see results for the time you put into making your content really valuable. Finally, at the end of your content, you should have a strong call to action, or CTA. Your CTA will tell people what you want them to do. Don't just assume they'll know because you put a link somewhere. Have a CTA that tells them exactly what it is. A good CTA should have 3 C's. It should be clear, compelling, and congruent. A clear CTA is very simple and specific about what you want people to do. Don't tell people to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the link in your description. Just tell them one thing. If you want them to subscribe, only ask that. If you want them to click the link in your description, only ask for that. Just tell them one thing. If you want them to subscribe, ask for that. If you want them to click the link in your description, tell them to do that. If you give people more than one CTA, they get decision paralysis and probably won't do anything. The less options you give them, the lower the cognitive load and the easier it is for them to do the action. The second C, compelling, means your CTA should briefly explain why it's valuable for them to do what you're asking them to do. I like to give away free resources or freebies that will help your audience achieve their goals, which makes the CTA very compelling because they're getting more free value from it. Or if you ask them to subscribe, let them know that it helps you make quality content for them and help them on their journey by giving them the information that they need. Finally, your CTA should be congruent, meaning it should be related to the video that they just watched. If at the end of this video I told you, click the link in the description for my free guide to help you take care of your goldfish, that would be very random and you probably won't click it unless you have a goldfish. But if I told you, click the link in the description for a free in-depth course on everything you need to know about getting a high-ticket client, you would be much more likely to click it because that's exactly what I've been talking about in this video. The other cool thing about having a strong CTA is that it can be a way for you to get more leads. If you use freebies for your CTA, you always have the option of putting your freebie inside a funnel. A funnel gives you a way to collect emails and phone numbers, so you have a way to reach back out to your audience if your social media ever gets banned or shut down for some reason. You own these lists. They can't be taken away from you. So it's a good idea to start building them in case of any emergencies. And generally, your audience won't have any problem giving you their information because you've already given them so much free value through your video and they're getting more free value from you in exchange. It also implies that they'll get more free stuff from you in the future, for instance, through emails where you can give them more tips or more free resources. And because you should have such an amazing offer, some of those leads will likely become high ticket clients. If your offer is solving a major problem for them and they've already gotten so much value from you from your free content, there are going to be some people who want the full VIP experience and will want to work with you more closely. It's really a win-win for everybody. That's how you build a loyal following that actually loves engaging with you and that have the opportunity to ascend into becoming high-ticket clients. By having an amazing offer, making content to get your message out there, and having a clear, compelling, and congruent CTA to create warm leads, you have a very simple way to get your first, second, third, fifth, 100th, or 1,000th high-ticket client. The important thing is to make sure that each of these three elements is done well, because if one of them isn't done correctly, the whole system falls apart. And to make sure that you do all of these things correctly, I've put together a free course going through all of these steps in more detail, which you can get by clicking the link in the description below. I go over how to craft an amazing offer, start making content, get your first client, and get them amazing results. It's everything you need to build a successful online coaching business. Just click the link below and I'm confident that it will help you on your journey to get your first, fifth, or 100th high ticket client.